What is up, everybody? It's BMAX Bracketology, and I'm back continuing the series of predicting every single college basketball conference tournament winner, and it is officially March Madness Day. It's the first day of March Madness. I'm sorry I'm getting this out a little early, and I just realized that I didn't make a whole blank bracket, but, Houston was going to win anyway. Their defense is too tough, so I'm rolling with the 1 seed Houston in that one, so I'm just getting into the games. Then we got the 8 seed Gonzaga versus the 9 seed Georgia. Gonzaga, they're kind of built better offensively, and I think both these teams really fund on the defensive side. Solid rebounding teams, solid big men. Austin Newell, Graham Ike is going to be a great battle. I just don't think Georgia's going to be able to keep up with Gonzaga's offense. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if Gonzaga just runs them off the floor. They didn't shoot well in the WCC tournament, but St. Mary's is a very, very good defensive team, so maybe that might be why. But Georgia's good too, so maybe they might struggle, but I think Gonzaga rolls them here. Give me the 8 seed Gonzaga to move on. And then the next match, we got the 5 seed Clemson versus the 12 seed McNeese. Both of these teams are really, really similar, guys. They both rebound the ball really well. They're both really good in the turnover margin, and they shoot the ball well, and they limit teams' shooting abilities. Just the thing that I would say mostly is, well, actually, now that I look at it, I did make a blank one, but I guess I just put that in last. My bad. So back to the game. So we got Clemson and McNeese. Both these teams are really similar. It's just that Clemson is a little bit better at every little thing, better at taking care of the ball, better at rebounding, better at shooting, better at disrupting shots, and they just got better players. Chase Hunter is better than anybody on the floor. I think McNeese struggles to have that star player. They all just play really well. They fund off forcing turnovers, and Clemson takes care of the ball. I think McNeese is going to have a rough day. Give me the 5 seed Clemson to move on. And then we got the 4 seed Purdue versus the 13 seed High Point. This High Point team is firing on all cylinders right now. In the Big South Championship game, their starters were struggling against Winthrop. Throw in 4 players off their bench, they go on like a 30-something run. It was absolutely insane to end the game. The High Point team is so deep, and this Purdue team is not deep at all, actually. They got 3 players in Kaufman, Ren Smith, and Lawyer that are pretty much all they are. High Point does love to scramble defensively. I think that Purdue's going to be able to get some open shots there, but ultimately, High Point, I think they're honestly deeper, and I think they're just as talented. They're very, very similar. First ever tournament. I'm hopping on the Huss bus. Give me the 13 seed High Point to go on to the next round. And then we got the 6 seed Illinois versus the 11 seed Xavier. I watched that Xavier game last night. Absolute crazy game. Couldn't have asked for a better first 4 game. Xavier was behind the whole game. Felt like their hopes were dwindling, but they came back. Texas kind of choked. Rodney Terry's probably not going to be back next year. But, Sean Miller, just a great coach. This team is deep, guys. And Illinois has shown signs of struggle this year. I think that this is going to be a 3-point shootout, definitely. I think Illinois is going to allow Xavier to shoot the ball a lot, which I think plays into their advantage because Xavier can spread the floor. All 5 of their starters can shoot. And I just don't love the ability that Illinois has. They shoot a lot of threes, guys, and they sometimes don't hit at really good margins. That's why you see them get upset a decent bit and have really bad games. But when they're on, they're really, really good. They're kind of young, inexperienced as a group together. The Xavier team's been playing with each other for the past couple years. I'm rolling with the 11 seed Xavier to go on to the next round, and that is crazy that I've taken every single 11 seed to go over a 6. The 11 seed is most likely to win over the 6. I think recently, it's like 29-27 in the past couple years. Or past 9 years. So, like that, I just don't think the 6 seeds are really strong this year in general. Okay, let's just get into the next match. We got the 3 seed Kentucky versus the 14 seed Troy. This Troy team is very, very good at turning teams over. That's what they do. Kentucky does not turn the ball over, and Troy does not really take care of the ball really well, but Kentucky's not going to exploit that. So I think this is going to be an overall clean game. I think it's going to be a close one, guys. And, Kentucky, They get a bad rap just because they got matched up with Oakland, and it's not their fault. Jack Golke scored 30 points. Like, that was just a legacy game. Like, you can't fault Kentucky for that game. And then St. Peter's, yeah, that was bad. Doug Edder didn't really take over, but he kind of did. That was bad. I'll give you that. But Oakland was on fire last year. A lot of people are going to take Troy in this one. I just don't really see it. They don't have the talent to keep up with Kentucky. Kentucky doesn't have Jackson Robinson. I'm not sure about Lamont Butler, but, I think they'll be fine. Give me the 3 seed Kentucky to move on. And then we got the 7 seed UCLA versus the 10 seed Utah State. Both these teams are pretty solid. Utah State is definitely more on the offensive side, and UCLA is definitely more on the defensive side. UCLA scores a lot of points off turnovers. That's what they do. That's how their offense is funded, because offensively, they don't really have a go-to guy. They don't have a guy who can get down and just drive and get to the hole. Don't love this team a lot. Utah State has the ability to take care of the ball really well, which I don't think UCLA's going to be in a rude awakening in this one. McCrone squad. Utah State's got Martinez and Falsev. Falslev didn't play good in the Mountain West tournament. I think they're going to bounce back here in this one. Give me the 10 seed Utah State to go to the next round. And then we got the 2 seed Tennessee versus the 15 seed Wofford. Wofford's got the underhand free throw shooter, so I understand you taking them. I'm kidding. This Tennessee team is just really, really physical. And Wofford, they shot out of their butts in the SoCon tournament. They don't really shoot. They really weren't shooting at that rate all season. They just caught fire at the right moment. This team is really, really solid, though. If their shots are on, they're going to give Tennessee a run for their money, because Tennessee loves to give up three-pointers, and Wofford's going to take them. If Tennessee's going to give them, Wofford's going to take them. I see. There's a lot of 15 seeds that I can see winning games this year, guys. I don't know if the 2 line's weak or if the 15 seeds line's great, but I can really see it happening, but I just can't do it. I'm going to roll with the 2 seed Tennessee to win this one. And then in the next round, we got the 1 seed Houston versus the 8 seed Gonzaga. Love both of these teams. They're both really physical inside. Gonzaga's got Ike, Huff, Greg, and all of them inside. And then Houston's got Roberts, Tugler, and Francis. Tugler is the best defender in college basketball, and I don't care what you say about that. Graham Ike is going to have a hard time to score. And this Gonzaga team really doesn't shoot the ball well from the outside. So if they're going to try to make this a tough physical game, I just don't like that at all for them. So I'm going to roll with the 1 seed Houston to win this one. And they have better shooters. So then we got the 5 seed Clemson versus the 13 seed High Point. Both these teams are very, very similar. Once again, High Point is they're a really solid team. Very, very similar in net rating. That's kind of what you notice here is the net rating between the 12s and the 5s and the 13s and the 4s are actually way closer than it normally is, which is something that I'm not really used to. But, I think Clemson's just too physical. They got the inside presence. Bodo is not going to be able to get a lot of offensive rebounds. Got to roll with the Chef and Chase Hunter. Even though they don't have Dylan Hunter, I still like this Clemson team a lot. Brad Brownell did it last year. Give me the 5 seed Clemson to move on. And then we got the 11 seed Xavier versus the 3 seed Kentucky. Kentucky doesn't have Robinson. They might not have Butler. I'm sorry, I completely forgot to research that before starting this video. Don't love that aspect for them just because of their point guard injuries. Kentucky, they're very, very good offensively. Defensively, not very good. I think this is going to be a high scoring game, fast-paced game, which I think overall does benefit Kentucky. But, this Xavier team is just funded so well, guys. I'm so happy that the committee chose them to be in the tournament. I didn't think they would. That's kind of the thing about these teams is that they kind of just they don't necessarily deserve to be in the tournament, but they are a damn good team. And I like the Xavier team a lot. I think they're going to be able to spread out Kentucky. Amari Williams is a big shot blocker. Fremantle is just too good inside. I think he's going to have a good day. This team is firing on all cylinders right now, and that's what you want to see out of the Xavier team. Give me the 11 seed Xavier to move on to the next round. And then we got the 2 seed Tennessee versus the 10 seed Utah State. Tennessee is so physical. I don't think Utah State's going to be able to have as much an offensively game because they just played a really tough physical game the game before against UCLA. I think it's going to be hard to come out of this 2-0 just because of how physical both these teams would be for them. Tennessee does have some good shooters too. Lanier, Ziegler can even light it up from out there. What's his name? I completely forgot. But don't make fun of me. This Tennessee team can shoot it, guys. I really like this team a lot. I think that they're capable of winning this game. Utah State's going to struggle. Give me the 2 seed Tennessee to move on. And then in the Sweet 16, we got the 1 seed Houston versus the 5 seed Clemson. This is where I think the Dylan Hunter injury hurts him. He's such a good glue guy, such a good defender, such a good rebounder for his size. And this Houston team's tough. They're going to need him. They're going to absolutely need him. This Clemson team is really, really good. Houston has the shooters on the outside that I really, really like about him. Cryer, Using, and Sharp can all hit it. Roberts is so clutch, and Tugler is such a good defender. This team is on another level compared to Clemson. They do everything better than them. And Clemson doesn't have one of their better players. Yeah, no, sorry. Give me the 1 seed Houston to move on to the Elite Eight. And then we got the 11 seed Xavier versus the 2 seed Tennessee. I kind of talked about this earlier. Tennessee loves to give up 3-pointers, but they don't allow teams to shoot at a very high percentage. So maybe that's kind of a luck factor. When you kind of look at it, they're going to let Xavier shoot the ball. That's what their kind of defense is. You're not allowed to get in the paint. We're going to make your outside shooters beat us. And I think Xavier has the outside shooters to beat them. I like the Xavier team a lot. I know it's risky, but I'm taking the 11 seed Xavier to go all the way to Elite Eight. First 4 to Elite Eight. I'm calling it, baby. Roll Musketeers, fear the X-Men. And then for a trip to the Final Four, we got the 1 seed Houston versus the 11 seed Xavier. This is an absolutely electric matchup. Xavier is on a roll. I really want to pick them, guys. I really do. But I just think this Houston team's too much. They're gonna struggle offensively to get into any rhythm. That's what they do. Houston has the shooters to keep up with Xavier too offensively. The inside game, Tugler's the best defender in college basketball. I don't care what anybody says. He is the best defender in college basketball. He blocks shots. He steals. He is amazing. And I think Fremantle's gonna have a tough time. I think Xavier's gonna have to shoot their way out of this one, which teams just don't seem to find a way to do that against Houston. I'm rolling with the 1 seed Houston, and I know, guys, I picked all 1 seeds to the Final Four. But this year, they're all 35 plus in Ken Palm. You haven't seen that ever. UConn was rated like 34 last year heading into the tournament. And there's 4 teams this year at a plus 35, which is absolutely insane. These are the 4 best teams in college basketball. It's without a doubt who the best teams are. So I'm rolling with the 1 seed Houston. They haven't made the Final Four since 2021 when they went on a little run in the not the bubble, but kind of what I'm talking about. When all the games were in Indianapolis, they ran into a tough Baylor team. I think Kyler Edwards was their best player. He was an absolute stud. Marcus Sasser was on that team. All of them. I like this Houston team a lot. They're built well. Tugler and Roberts are great inside. And then Uzang, Sharp and Cryer are so good. They got guys off the bench in Arsenault. I just like this team a lot. So I'm going to roll with the 1 seed Houston to go to the Final Four. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to be posting my Final Four predictions within probably 30 minutes within the next tip-off. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be My Bracketology out. God bless everyone.